If you have any live questions for Oli in regards to the digital nomad lifestyle or the laptop lifestyle, then please jump on and ask. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're in the replay watching this, because we're getting a lot of people watching the videos on the replay, but we'd love to actually hear from you. So if you could drop hashtag Team Replay in the comments, that would be phenomenal. Oli, hey buddy.
Hey man, how are you doing?
Thanks for coming on the show. Yeah, really good. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me here. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it is my pleasure. Yeah, man. So Sam's just jumped on there. Hey, Sam, say hello, man. Good to see you. So, yeah, Oli, dude, it's great to have you on. I know, everyone's going to be really interested to hear your story because, I mean, living the laptop lifestyle or at least being a backpacker for 5 years is obviously a time frame that you've managed to sustain what you're doing because, if you go backpacking for 6 months, it's like, okay, well, you had some savings and live off or whatever, but to be able to accomplish it for 5 years is phenomenal. So, yeah, man, I'd love to hear how that all got started.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while. 5 years is quite a long time. Sometimes it doesn't feel actually that long. But
yeah.
Everything started it's exactly almost on the day 5 years ago now. And yeah, I'm originally from Switzerland. And obviously I had an amazing life. There was nothing to complain. I was running my own company back home. This was all successful, there was nothing to complain, but I was just becoming sick of the whole thing. And I was like, is that really what life has to offer? This, the whole 9 to 5 thing, working 5 to 6 days. And especially if you're self-employed, you work 12 hours a day and 6 days a week. And I was like, is that everything what I gonna do for the rest of my life? And I was like, nah. And I always loved to travel. I'm not gonna do that. I always loved to travel, obviously. And I traveled a lot previously before I started that journey. But I was like, okay, I want to see more of the world. So yeah, I decided, and it was kind of an overnight decision. Woke up in the morning, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And I sold all my stuff in between quite a short time. And yeah, everything what was left was like a backpack, 60-liter backpack. I put some clothes in. That's how it started. And I started to travel around Europe first. Spent quite a long time as well in Ibiza and in London. And traveled around Europe and then came to Asia, and that's where everything definitely started, because then I was like, okay, Asia, that's what it is. And I became like addicted to Asia. Absolutely in love, and actually never left after this, and traveled all around Asia, and started some businesses along the way, startups, launched some brands, and made money along the way with many different businesses. And then 3 years ago, the whole digital thing started completely for me, because obviously we always had like a laptop with me and did some business from the laptop all the time. But then 3 years ago, when I was running a motorbike business down in Vietnam, and we started to create an application and starting to put the whole thing online. And I realized it's so much easier if you run your business only online instead of having a proper shop. And that's where everything started. And I was like, okay, let's do it completely on a digital nomad base. And from there, one thing came to the next, actually. Yeah.
That's cool. Because we just had in the comments here, in younger years, I wanted to live a nomadic backpacking lifestyle. The subject is of serious interest to me. And it's super interesting because, in essence, it's building a business with almost no overheads. I mean, there's definitely costs, but initially just to set up somewhere in the world, when you do set up shop, you've got to pay, rent for wherever you want to stay and all these sort of things. But in comparison to just having an office in the States, it's just such a different life. And I mean, even coming back, I'm curious, Oli, what was your business before that you actually left to start this process? What had you set up prior to
that? So you mean back home in Switzerland?
Yeah, all those years ago.
I was running a event agency and a DJ shop, so I was mainly in the night scene.
Cool.
I was working for Pioneer, and then as a key account manager, and then started my own business with the Pioneer brand, and was selling equipment and starting events, and that's which was great, man. It was almost also like living the dream. But it was just all over the place, it was great. But once in the night scene, never ever again. I was
Fair
like,
enough.
okay, that's enough.
You're done. Yeah.
Exactly,
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
exactly.
it's all
Yeah.
fun and games, but just, it gets very old very quickly.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
was saying on the show the other day, I went out because on Sunday when we were talking before about how I launched my course, like, I was up till 5 a.m. One of the reasons for that was a mate wanted to catch up, and I was like, look, I'll have literally one beer, but then I've got to go back to work. So we went out for maybe an hour. And yeah, there was these two dudes at the back of the bar, and they were like late 60s, and they were just like, the dark trench
Yeah.
coats and just hanging out at the bar,
Yeah.
just watching like, I was like, yeah, no, I
That,
definitely
that,
don't want
that's not how
that.
you want to end. That's definitely not how you want to end. Not at all.
Oh fuck!
Exactly.
So yeah, man.
Exactly.
Once
Yeah.
once in the night scene and out the night scene, then that's it. And
Yeah.
it's about not necessarily when we mature. It's just we have different values, and so
Yeah.
things change. And if you're having
Exactly.
such a successful business in events and selling equipment, and then shift and pivot now to something else, it's just because your value or your perceptions of value have shifted, and you know what's important to you. So it's awesome that you found your path and your journey, and it sounds like it's going really well and sustainable as well. That's the key phrase here: sustainable. So
Yeah.
you can really travel the world, but then still come back to have a running business.
I think that's what it's all about, like consistency and building something which is sustainable. And it wasn't always like sustainable like it is now. Now it's really pretty cool and everything seems like sorted, but it took me a while, and it was like it always when I talk about my journey, people are like, wow, okay, that sounds great. I want to do this as well. And it's like, okay, look, it is an amazing journey and it was a school of life, but it goes like this. It goes like there's massive ups and downs, and
Yeah.
I've seen a lot, and I've been like through many ups and downs just to go to that point, where we are now. And we're like, okay, now it feels like it's all good, or more sustainable and more consistent. But it wasn't always like that. Definitely not.
Of course
but I
not.
think it's important.
Yeah.
You have to go through that. You definitely have to go through all this and see all these ups and downs, because that's how you grow, right? That's what it makes at the
Absolutely.
end.
Well, that's the
Exactly.
thing. I mean, with so many, successful people that you hear about, and they've, done X, Y, and Z, it's not really widely spoken about all their failures. But really, I mean, the failures are like a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I failed heaps big. I fucked up. Like, whatever. And
Yeah.
I think it's great to actually touch on those stories. Like there was
Yeah.
one business I had where I dropped 40K on it, and it didn't go anywhere. And and that was purely on me. I didn't validate the market properly. I didn't do my research.
Yeah.
I just mimicked that. Okay, well, this business idea, although it's not in Australia, in the States and in the UK, they're absolutely killing it. So I'm just going to do that. And that was completely on me, and it's just one of those things that I find that's actually an interesting story to share, because it is about learning along the way and failing forward. So it's really cool that, you've managed to figure all that out. So it's amazing. Yeah, man, for sure.
Absolutely.
So I guess when you did settle down, how did when you first started your business, how did that all come about? Like, was it that you partnered up with a few people, or you just you've got your partner as well? Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. Like after I left Vietnam around 2 years ago. Then I always used to come back and forward, so I could never really leave the motorbikes. That was my biggest issue, actually. I was always like, okay, I need to go back to the motorbikes. But then, how everything happens with the business we're running now is like, I used to be previously, maybe to say that, I used to be like a lot in network marketing and a lot in social media marketing, did some MLM stuff. And so, but that was never really what I wanted to do. That was just like a way to sort out money along the way.
Yeah,
and
it was an income.
It made an income, it made a living, and it proved the laptop lifestyle, it really proved the laptop lifestyle. And it was like, okay, but it was never really what I need to do something which really is my passion, which I really go into it.
Of course.
Exactly. And then a year ago, I met my girlfriend. She was by this time, she was traveling around Asia, and we met in Vietnam, because I was still in Vietnam, back and forward all the time. And how that goes, we fell in love. And I was like, look, if we want to make that happen together, I'm not going back to Europe. She's from Germany. She was like, I have to go back. I have a job. I have a house. And I got like, okay, but I don't. I'm definitely not going back. so come on, let's sell everything back home and come on that journey with me. And so she did, and that's what I loved her so much for it. You know, like she really gave everything up for me, and she's like,
Yeah,
okay,
she
let's
went
make
all
that
in.
happen. Yeah, she went all in, definitely. She's still
Yeah.
doing it. So it's like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
phenomenal.
And that's what, like a year ago, that's when we started that brand, Homeless and Happy, because I was like, okay, let's start something together. Let's start something which is also pretty cool for you, where you can work on it. And there was like this night in Singapore in a bar. And we all had me and her, we had a couple beers, and we were like, okay, let's start a brand and let's do this. And that's where Homeless and Happy started. And she came up with that name, and I was like, that's great. So we started Instagram and we started social media marketing to build up around. And I figured that's something she really loves. And on the other side, I was always like, I would love to help people, because over the last couple of years, and I was doing this, many people came to me and was like, how do you do that? How do you live that laptop lifestyle, or even the backpacking or flash packing lifestyle on a later point then?
I like that,
and
yeah.
without coming home, you know, like without just going through and pushing it through all the time. And I started to help people along the way anyway. And I was like, okay, now it's maybe time to turn it into a business, right?
Yep.
And that's where Homeless and Happy started. And that's where we started to build up like a page and courses to help people to establish their self in their businesses, online business, becoming kind of like a digital nomad, even if it's like, it's a massive hype, this digital nomad thing at the moment. I kind of like it, but it shouldn't be hyped that much. It's more like being sustainable on your online business and doing what you love. And
that's what it is. That's what it is in essence.
Exactly. Dropping out of the 9 to 5. So that's how we started with the Homeless and Happy brand. And like I said, focused on the flash packing, not on the backpacking anymore, because we're like, yeah, my girlfriend, she's 30, I'm 35, we're not 20 anymore. So we're going a little bit away from the parties and a lot more in the different lifestyle, you know, like not a luxury lifestyle, but living more in hotels than in hostels, you know, like prefer to have a glass of wine and watching the sunset instead of going drunk all night, you know, like a bit like this flash packing lifestyle a bit more.
Okay, all right, because Drew had a question about what's flash packing in regards to backpacking. So more as in like partying, backpacking, that kind of thing?
It's like, like flash packing, it's a new word, which I only know that word since a year or so, but it seems like there's growing a massive scene around it. Like flash packing is like backpacking, but it's more like, more like a little bit on a luxury way. So for people who are not like, you know, not traveling on a $10 budget, we might like, you know, we like to take a flight instead of a bus. We like to, you know, like we're not 20 anymore. We like to have like a good glass of wine instead of 10 beers. You know, like having like, because that's like a flash packing. That's what flash packing is all about, actually.
Yeah, I love that term. Like I haven't heard that before either.
You haven't heard that before? No?
No, so, you know,
I still should focus on that. It's always like people coming up with like, I don't know about it. It's like, okay, Google it. It's actually quite big, but people don't know about the whole flash packing scene, actually. And it's a very interesting one.
Well,
that's where we see ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's phenomenal, because I was actually having a conversation with someone earlier this morning, and it was in regards to many, digital market, not many, but, you know, some will in fact portray wealth just to, in essence, increase their social proof and get their name out there. And we were discussing, you know, whether or not that's a good or a bad thing. And really, I mean, I could see both sides of the fence or both sides of the coin. But I mean, with flash packing, if you can afford to sustain that lifestyle and really go around and show the best of, if you have a business that can achieve that, or you have a business, say in your case, something like that, you can show people on how to achieve that. That's going to work wonders, because, you know, a picture speaks 1,000 words. And if you can, you know, travel, in essence, a plane rather than a bus, like who doesn't want to do that? Like the 20-year-olds only do it because they can't afford the plane. You know, I mean, when I would, you know, when I did traveling, I definitely didn't want to do that. I much rather just stay at a hotel. Like, I mean, there's been times where you can actually meet people at youth hostels, but then go and stay at your own hotel. Like, cool, I'll make the friends, and then I'll just actually still get a good night's sleep.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong about backpacking. I think that's everyone should do. And the flash packer, we still travel with the backpack, you know, like it's not about we're coming like with suitcases and like on a very
Yeah, of
luxury
course.
way. Not
You don't have your
at
little
all.
chihuahua in a bag or anything traveling around.
No,
It's
not at all. Please not. Please not. No, but I think the backpacking is a pretty cool thing too. And I used to do it for years and years and years. You know, like even when I was home based in Switzerland, I always went on backpacking trips, and it was great. And I loved the whole hostel scene and sleeping in dorms. And so that's something you have to do that. But then at one point, you just realize yourself you're getting a bit older, right? You're getting a bit
yeah,
older, and you want to have a bit a higher standard.
values
Because
change.
you establish, yeah, you establish yourself a little bit more. You know, like the business is running better, and so you can, and then obviously you will. You know,
Yeah,
hopefully we never have to cut back on that. That's the
yeah,
only thing.
exactly.
We're working on it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's
man.
phenomenal. Man, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I guess yeah, from there, like yeah, tell us a bit more about what's been going on, what's growing, what's now already established
exactly.
and moving forward.
That's yeah. That's how Homeless and Happy started actually. Exactly, and which was like a year ago. Then I'd say a couple months ago, I met my business partner Sam. He's
Yep.
in Australia at the moment, and he had like this Facebook group and call it the Digital Nomad Incubator. And I was
Cool.
like,
Yeah, we
okay,
had him
that
on the show
sounds
earlier
yeah, he
last
was on
month.
your show,
Yeah.
exactly. So I was like, okay, that's very interesting. I should reach out to this guy and see what he's doing because it seemed like we're doing very similar things.
Cool.
And that's when we started to partner up with Sam. And at the beginning, it was just like, oh, we could maybe do this and this and this. You have a product, we have a product. Let's combine these products. And one day he just called me up and he said, like, look, you're in Bali, I'm in Australia, I'm coming down to Bali. Let's see what we can do together. And I was like,
Cool.
okay, this guy is serious. He's serious
Yeah.
about what he's talking. So let's do it. And then he came down here and we clicked so well. And I was like, okay, let's do this together. And from there, yeah, we're growing the company. We made the Incubator as a product where we like help people to drop out of the 9 to 5 and starting their own sustainable online business,
Yep.
which is the main focus we're focusing on at the moment to helping to get through that journey, you know, like, because that's what we said before, this digital nomad thing is a hype. Everyone wants to do this, but then you go on Google and
Yeah.
you Google it and it's like a ton of information. So what we do is like we take you by the hand and we guide you through and we show you what are your skills, maybe what are your talents, what can you do best, because I'm like, these days you can turn every business in an online business.
Definitely.
And then
Yep. Definitely.
helping you to grow that business in a successful way, and always with the main focus on passive income, right? Passive income, I think it's a very important thing for us, because I'm always like, look, we all chose that lifestyle. That means we want to enjoy that lifestyle and not working 12 hours a day. So growing a business and making it sustainable on a passive base, and that's what we teach people at the moment, and which is growing very, very nice. So we're already expanding it and making it bigger at the moment, and also having clients coming to us. They already have a successful online business, but they might want to bring it to the next level. So we help them out as well. In the meantime, we built the team in the background, you know, like where we work with web designers, sales guys, funnel guys,
Yeah, cool.
coders, programmers. Yeah. So the rest is history, actually, and that's what we do at the moment, and being quite busy
Yeah.
with all this.
Yeah, Ollie, it's phenomenal. Yeah, it sounds like you're very busy. So that's amazing, man. To be able to juggle all that and still be able to get out for a surf once in a while, you're doing well.
Yeah, try to getting up early in the morning, very early in the morning, to catch
Yeah.
hopefully a couple waves every now and then. But yeah, you need to get that work-life balance, you know, like.
The
And
balance.
I'm honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not the best by doing this. And it's always easy to talk about that, but you especially when you're in places like we're home based in Bali, so it's like, you know, like you're living in paradise. And then yeah, you need to figure out what this work-life balance is, because you can't just work and work and work and work. Just go out and enjoy your life as well, because that gives you so much energy to go back into work and then getting the most out of it. And that's a bit
Definitely.
my theory
Yeah,
about the whole
absolutely.
thing. Yes.
And it's something, yeah, look, it's something that, you know, a lot of people need to be more honest about, because it's sometimes it can be very difficult to find balance. And, you know, I'm the same, like, you know, last night I was up to 1, night before I was up to
Yeah.
3. which isn't the
Yeah.
norm, but it's just, all right, if I was better at balancing things, then I wouldn't need to do that to get the work done, you know? So it's about trying to figure out along your journey as to how you do manage your time better, or how do you manage it in ways that you can focus on things you enjoy at the same time, whilst, you know, getting
Yeah.
shit done. So it's about balance, and it's about just testing the
Yeah.
waters as to what you can do or what you can get away with. Because, you know, people say work smarter, not harder. I mean, if you work hard and smart, then you're going to absolutely kill it,
That,
as you've been
yeah.
doing, you know, as a lot of us have been doing. But if you can work hard initially and then work smart, then that's the best way to do it. Whereas a lot of people want
Exactly.
that quick buck, and they'll just,
Absolutely.
oh, I'll work smart from day one. It's like, well,
Yeah.
if you do that, you will get somewhere. But if you can work hard and smart from day one and then
Exactly.
find balance, it'll
Yeah.
just be, you'll be
That's
unstoppable, basically.
couldn't say it any better. Absolutely agree. That's what it's all about. At the end of the journey, that's what is actually exactly what it's all about. Correct.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think, like,
absolutely.
you know, like the thing is like, it will be rewarding, you know, like it will be, if you do it, it will be rewarding. And the consistency is the key, you know, like, and push yourself through, because the worst what people think is like, being your own boss and living the laptop lifestyle and dropping out of the 9 to 5 is going to be like just cocktails on the beach. No, it's definitely not. But it will be maybe one day, you know, like, or it
Yeah.
will be, you will scale your business to a point where you can say, okay, I'm on a level where I have my business and the online business, and that's what is great thing about, on a passive income stream, where I maybe can say, okay, now I'm working only 3 to 4 hours a day, and not the 8-9 hours a day anymore, right? But that's a long
Yeah.
way, and it's a long way. That's not going to happen overnight. That's not going to happen in the first 6
It's long
months. You know,
term.
like,
Yeah.
it's a long-term investment you do in yourself, in your business, and then if you want to go there, if you want to reach that level, you will. But consistency, it's all about consistency. Consistency is the key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Oli,
Yeah.
yeah, and, you know, some fantastic points there made. So, I guess for everyone that is, you know, they've got their established businesses and they've been doing it for a while, but they maybe even want to alleviate some of their day-to-day stuff. You know, not necessarily those that want to be the digital nomad, but even those that just want to be able to get a little bit more of a work-life balance. What can you suggest for them?
So you mean to get more into a work-life balance? to
Yeah, because I think that's so
to
important.
figure
Because I
out
mean,
how to, yeah, but, you know, like, I think it's focusing.
yep,
It's a very important thing. So when you do something, do it 120%, right? And do it completely right, and then focus on one thing, and then you do the next thing, right? So as
yep,
example, what I try is, like, when I go surfing in the morning, as example, then I go surfing. Okay, I leave my phone at home. I go surfing for maybe just an hour, but I do it exactly right. And then I go home and I might have breakfast, and then I work for like 2 or 3 hours, but then I work like completely on that and not thinking
yeah,
about, oh, there's my motorbike outside. There might be good waves on the water at the moment. No, you just like do this. And then after this, you take yourself an hour break, and then you do what the fuck you want. Sorry for that.
yeah.
But you know,
Man,
like,
say whatever the
you
fuck
do
you
what
want.
you,
It's cool.
yeah, do what the fuck you want, you know, like. But then you do it with the 100% engagement on this, and
Yeah,
then jump into the next. So, like, I think, and that for me, that works, like, to get this work-life balance. And like I said before, I'm still struggle with it, because I can't. Sometimes my mindset is going to be like all over the place, and then I need to force myself again and going back into that and saying, okay, now you do this, and then you do this, and then you do the next, and then, right, okay, focus, and now we do this. It's like, yeah, but the day only has 24 hours, so make the most out of it. And obviously making the most out of it is like focusing on one thing and then doing the next.
yeah, cool. No, well
Yeah.
said. Absolutely. So yeah, I guess for everyone that is interested in more of a laptop lifestyle, where do they get started? Because as you were mentioning before, about if you go on Google, there's just a plethora of information. It's almost overwhelming. So, you know, how do you really know what to pick or what to decide on? And obviously it's about finding something you're passionate about. But if you don't know what exists out there, how can you then know if you're passionate about it?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's all about um, figuring out what are your skills, right?
Yeah,
Do what you can
cool.
do
Yeah, makes
best.
sense.
That's what it's all about. You know, like, don't do anything what you don't like just to achieve something. You know, like, there are people, they're really not good in something, and then try and try and try and try. So that's not, it's like, that shouldn't be like that, you know, like, and then that's something we try to teach people as well, you know, like if they come to us and we take them by the hand, it's like, look, we need to focus on what you're good at it, and then we go from there and we take it step by step, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it's, because there's not, laptop lifestyle is not for everyone. You know what I mean? It's not like,
Yeah,
it's not
absolutely.
like everyone can do it. There are really people they feel uncomfortable with. So just because everyone say like it's so cool to be a digital nomad doesn't mean you have to be one. There are many
Yeah.
other ways to travel the world as well without being a digital nomad, you know, like, try to figure out what you do best and what you feel the most familiar with.
Yeah, yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So, Ollie, I guess for everyone at home that is listening, you know, whether it's here in the Facebook group Niche Entrepreneur Community, or you know, it's on iTunes or Android or even YouTube, how is it that they can get in touch with you so that way you can actually help them with their businesses, whether it's those that are looking to, you know, start the laptop lifestyle or build on their current lifestyles, or maybe even just alleviate a bit more, you know, of a, you know, working stress to make a bit more of a balance. How do they get in contact with you for you to be able to help them?
So I think that the easiest way is either we got this Facebook group called the Digital Nomad Incubator. This is
Yep.
the one who's created by Sam, and in this
Cool.
group we offer an 8-day free video course about how to become a digital nomad and give you a little bit of a taste. So
Yep.
through the group on Facebook is definitely the easiest way to reach out straight away, because we're all in there and the community is growing quite big at the moment. We are a bit proud
Awesome.
of that.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of value out of the group and get a bit of taste. And then you can always reach out by messages, or you just go straight jump in on homelessandhappy.com, where you can send us messages. There is my Facebook profile in, there is like an email contact in, just reach out, book a free consultation call. That's what we offer, 30-minute free consultation call, where we try to figure out if we are a match, if we can work with you, is there some potential we see to build you up, and that's something we give you for free. So that's, I think, it's probably the easiest way to reach out straight away.
Yeah. Awesome. No,
Sorry.
fantastic. Well, no, man, you're all good. Well, yeah, Ollie, I really appreciate you coming on today. It's been an absolute blast. I know you've got another meeting scheduled, so I guess we'll wrap that up here. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
Sorry
been
for being busy,
amazing
man.
value.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, first world problems,
No,
eh? Or as I was saying before, yeah, I guess
first world,
third world because you're in
first
Bali.
world,
But yeah,
yeah, luxury problem, right?
luxury problems.
Jumping
That's
to,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much. It was an honor. Appreciate it very much to be here. Hope I could bring some value. Like I said, if someone is interested to know more, reach out to us. We're here to answer questions. We are here to help. We are always very, very interested to meet people who are out there and want to go on the same journey. So thank you very much for this.